can only be described as a music legend. He first rose to prominence in the 1970s as part of Roxy Music before embarking on a successful solo career. Tonight, we're delighted he's here performing exclusively from his new album with You Can Dance, Bryan Ferry.
Discotheque dawn, that's where it came to me. I've been racing through the night, looking for some company. It was the mambo talking, it's got a lot to say. But do you come here often, or do you want to play? We're hitchhiking to Paris, exactly the same. Well, Hollywood promise they'll never be the same. There's a world awaiting way beyond the sea. Well, how I love to travel. Baby, will you come with me? Jump on the table, slide down the pole. You can wear your sail, and you can bear your soul. From Reno down to Vegas, a casino's never closed. The movers and the shakers, the tango never know. Take it to the river, try singing in the rain. I like a jungle fever, got me in the mood again. Up to the fruity, Jones Bar Hollywood. I like them hard soda, the can if I could.
Bryan, it's interesting. I get quite a lot of young bands on here who come on, and some of them have been formed for about 6 months, others for a couple of years. They're still sort of what you might call finding their voice and finding their feet. You found your voice and your feet an awful long time ago, and it seems to me you continue. No, but you continue to develop it. You continue to be going somewhere. So, what is it that you look for now when you're putting an album like Olympia together?
Well, it's funny. You're always trying to find something new to do. You know, something different. And the last album I did was very different from this one. The last thing was a cover of Dylan songs. You know, Bob Dylan songs. And this time I felt I had to. Really, it was time I put out an album of my own things, you know, my own songs. Although some of them are actually co-writes with other artists as well.
Scissor Sisters, I think.
Yeah, and Groove Armada is a very good dance group. And yeah, you always try and ring the changes and try and keep it interesting for yourself.
For yourself as well. I mean, are you as driven as you were? You still driven to do it?
Definitely, yeah. And yeah, I've got a lot of young people, as you've seen, around me as well, you know, in the studio as well as on stage. And they sort of keep you on your toes, you know, try and keep you on the right path.
One thing that hasn't changed, well, it is constant, is the beautiful women on the cover of the record. This one on this album, we've got Kate Moss. Upside down she is, actually. She's quite, if you turn her the right way up, you get Kate Moss, you see. And Olympia's upside down. So there is this thing, Bryan, with you, and beautiful women. They never seem to be far away from you.
Well, with the first album that we did in '72 with Roxy Music, you know, we'd finished doing the music, we'd finished recording the album, and it was time to do the cover art, you know. And since I've been an art student, you know, before I got into music, I thought, well, it's a great opportunity for me to kind of try and do something visual. And so, yeah, I got very involved in the covers from that day. And the first cover was a pin-up girl, very beautiful woman, you know, which is a kind of image that's been used for advertising through the ages, really. And especially in the period that I like, was sort of Americana, 50s, 60s, that kind of thing, which was a kind of basis for a lot of pop art, which was what I had studied, you see. And people like Andy Warhol, and lots of other artists had used sort of pictures of Marilyn Monroe as inspirations.
So you sort of took it on
So I
stage.
kind of took it on a bit, and used it, that kind of glamorizing women, really. Better than pictures of us lads, I thought. More interesting.
You've always been extremely aware, obviously, of appearance, of style, of fashion. I think it was the designer Nicky Haslam who said Bryan Ferry wouldn't trash a hotel room, he'd redecorate it. Are you still very, you know...
So those curtains have got to go. And, yeah, well, once you kind of start developing an eye, you know, it never kind of leaves you, that visual interest. And you try and apply it, I guess, without thinking, to most things that you do.
Becomes a way of life.
Yeah, yeah. And I like putting beautiful things together. I like kind of decorating, really, funny enough. And I like pictures a lot.
You also
over the years, I've sort of collected pictures a bit, you know. And
you've also collected, without being rude, quite a lot of rather attractive women, Bryan. I mean...
Well, this is just something that happens along the way, you know. I make the best of it, really.
Make the best of a bad job.
God bless me, really.
Are you a good partner? Are you a
Me?
Good... Yeah.
That's a bit forward of you.
I thought as we'd known each other for 3 minutes, I could risk it.
Probably not, really. Quite demanding. I think any creative people, you know, people in show business especially, are a bit of a pain in the neck, you know, because they're obviously quite self-obsessed, you know, and it's always work, you know, there's always thinking about something, a new record or a new thing you're designing or whatever, and it can be a bit annoying, I think. But,
so you don't think you're particularly easy to live with?
I'm not too bad. I think I've learnt a little bit over the years, hopefully.
Will you share it? What do you... what have you learnt about women over the years?
Me? Oh, that you can never really understand them. So you try and make the most of it, really. Great, you know, they're very different from you and me, I think, and that's what makes it fascinating.
But you'll keep on trying?
Oh, always, yeah.
It's been great to talk to you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You must come and see my garden one day, actually.
Yeah,
so you're into that kind of thing?
I'm into that kind of thing.
Changing the subject, which I should have done.
I'll tell you everything I know about gardening if you'll tell me everything you know about women. I think let's make a date. You're on. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryan Ferry.
Thank you very much.